Isn't it lovely? Why didn't they include a sneak lock?
Life's end is approaching!
He got a strike in before he was gone. Like at some point I might get to drain this. Or not. All there minding.
Sarah.
First time in Caldera. Little piece of Western Empire right here in Morrowind. A prosperous little town thanks to the mining company. If I can help in any way, let me know. Are we in a valley or something? Morning. Yeah, it's just kind of an in-between thing. I think my para cycle runs on like a 8 to 18 hour awakeness followed by 4 to 8 hour sleepness. It does not math with modern society. We're doing Fighters Guild stuff today. Wait, am I on the outside of it? Isn't looking good. There. Found a couple pieces of carnelian down at the beach. Pretty nice looking stuff. I think it's gonna turn out into at least one gem. The other one I'm curious about. Yeah, they should have a mountain climbing simulator. Farmer's hours. Gotta get out early today, doing cold. Yeah, so apparently there was some Thieves Guild people there. But it didn't matter.
You've got my ear, let's hear it.
No, they're both still on there. You've got both of your ears. Gotta fix our sword.
You may speak.
You know, it depends. I mean, carnelian's a loose term. It's basically any yellowish to reddish agate or chalcedony. So here's how it works: is your quartz is a repeating crystal formation, and while it's still forming, they consider it, little groups of quartz. They call it microcrystalline quartz. And when you have microcrystalline quartz, it's called chalcedony. And oftentimes Chalcedony forms in layers. You'll have a layer of white Chalcedony, followed by a layer of blue Chalcedony, followed by a layer of white Chalcedony, or maybe red Chalcedony, also known as carnelian. And the Chalcedony layers form what's known as an agate. Of course, carnelian, the easiest way to consider what is carnelian is that carnelian comes from carna something or other. Anyway, it has to do with meat. The blood of the meat. It's basically what I got is a really big grain of sand that you can see through. Carnus, feminine, and third declension. Third. Ask the plot question. What are they mining and why? Yeah, they're mining ebony. Because they already have the ivory. Ebony and ivory and okay, and this particular carnelian, it's kind of like a chunk of hot glass flew through the air and then hit the sand. And it's got like little spots on it. That's where it gets the texture, is because it hit the sand and cooled. It cracked along that part, so it was more of a disc when it hit. This here is a hard chunk of lava. And it's very translucent. It's got a little bit of stuff in it, but I think that's mostly on the one side. You can see through it pretty well. So hopefully, it'll turn into something kind of like this guy. Oh, the color's not there. This guy looks like a piece of Lifesaver. It's so cabs are all like domed. This is just one flat, domey surface of orange. It's one of my favos. It's one of the first pieces of carnelian I ever cut. So that's one of the pieces. I think it turned out pretty good. Nice, tasty little gem. Another one I sent to somebody else. And it is dark red. Very dark red. Usual color, I don't see it often. That's the thing, is that carnelian, it can come in so many different colors. Where's my stop sign? Oh, come on. Just trying to look at my gems. Where are they at? Just trying to show off my own stuff. Fine. Fine. I'll do it my way instead of that way. Yeah, silica. Okay, so silica, that's a loose term. I mean, we were getting real specific with agate and then breaking it down, chalcedony, microcrystalline, quartz, and it gets looser. And silica is even looser than microcrystalline quartz, because there's a lot of things that have silica in them. And when you have silica with two oxygens, like a water molecule, it's quartz. But when one of the oxygens is mounted differently, it becomes different versions of the same molecule. I think they're called polymorphs. We can look that up real quick. There's that guy. That's what it looked like to start. That little domed over piece. You can see the pits where it hit the sand and cooled off. Little nodule of glass. But I had a stop sign one. There it is. This guy. And it's got this like black band, but I stopped it right there. So it makes a nice stop sign shape. That's what it looked like before. So those are the two pieces of carnelian that I've featured on my channel so far. On contact with water or other stuff. How deep the color looks. Do you find out what it looks like inside? It depends. I mean, like I say with that one we were shining the light on, you can turn it and you can kind of see how deep it is. And then like this guy here, this is a piece of blue chalcedony that I got a chunk. I sawed some bits off of it and I've got this little piece left. And it's kind of prepared to be shaped because it's flat and it's got the 45s, so it'll return. But it's got this thing in the middle, a white dot of stuff, of whatever it is, and then you turn it sideways, and with the right light on it, you can kind of see it's actually pretty freaking deep. Look at that. That's that white dot. Look at how deep it is. How are you going to cut that out of there? There ain't nothing left. So you got to feature it or something. Find a way to get it in there so it looks good. Um, like this blue one I'm working on. This piece of iolite that I think we might have talked about. It's got this black dot that just so happens to be right in the tip. And it's going to show up. You're going to see it. But it's kind of like it's right in the middle. That one's thin. But I got to work on this spot and this spot. And then see how this facet and then this, I need it to be symmetrical. And then also there's some deep scratches on the front that need to be worked out. But other than that, this piece is well on its way to being a huge Normatron piece of iolite. I mean, they're usually freaking... Iolites are usually this big. At the most. At the most. And this is like way bigger. Huge. Some of them do. Get down to Brazil. There's topazes that are as big as your torso. Torsopaz. Let's see. Polymorph. But that might actually be a plant thing, isn't it? Organism having more than one form as a result of discontinuous forming. So maybe I'm thinking of plants with that. Let's see. Allotrope. Yeah. And polymorph is when plants grow weird. This is an allotrope. And so we were talking about like silica with two oxygens and when they're bonded in different spots. So think of carbon. This is just carbon atom, carbon atom, carbon atom, carbon atom. And they form a bond in this way. They're sharing their thingers. And they make layers, and that makes coal. And then with enough pressure, they'll actually bond in a hexagon shape. And that's when the carbon, even though it's still just carbon, becomes diamond. And it goes from being black to being clear. Oh, that's a giant Jacob. Beep. And so I try to keep in mind that it's kind of the same thing when you're talking about like an agate or a chalcedony or any type of microcrystalline structure, is that it's in the middle of forming or becoming a different one of these. Let's see. Oh, trope. Let's see. Let's look up. Silicate minerals. Most abundant type of mineral making over 90% of the Earth's crust. Defined by composition of silicon and oxygen. Fundamental building block of the silica tetrahedron. A structure of central silicon atom surrounded by 4 oxygen atoms. These tetrahedra can link in various ways, creating different mineral structures, like isolated units, chains, sheets, or 3D frameworks, which determine the mineral's type and properties. Common examples include quartz, feldspar. They should have feldspar first. It's more common. But then feldspar, quartz, mica, and olivine, which are essential components in many rocks. Olivine, I like olivine. That's peridot. If olivine is gemmy, it becomes peridot, which is this. And it can be anywhere from the greeny blue to the greeny yellow. And like sunstone is a feldspar, but they're still silicate minerals. A lot of things have silicates. Like quartz is silicon dioxide, but this is SiO4. Oh, spodamine's a silicate mineral. Go spodamine. I think pink spodamine is kyanite? No. Kyanite's blue. What is pink spodamine? There's yellow spodamine. Green spodamine's called hiddenite. Yeah, kunzite. Okay, purple colored or pink colored. Kunzite. Hiddenite's green. It's supposed to be greener than that. Not very fun. Not very fun to cut. Very, 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 very needleish. It cracks apart right on the ends. There's tons of little splits. Very difficult to deal with. Interesting. So because silica is such a stable base, so many visible colors form from it. Chief jeweler at Tiffany's. There's a gig. Hey, I was thinking I should do more like a weekly Wikipedia, because that's what I do is I'll read these things and I can try to make them funny. And I learned things like how Fabergé didn't actually make jewelry. He was a jewelry designer. And he had a dozen people that made jewelry. He made a lot more than just eggs. The eggs were basically the first viral product. Think about Cabbage Patch Kids. Tickle Me Elmo, I remember that. That was ridiculous. Beanie Babies. It was the same thing, but with Fabergé eggs. It was like a hit. And Fabergé had a rule: if a piece of jewelry didn't sell in 2 weeks, he had it broken down and made into something else. This goes to show there's a lot of people involved with big projects. Quartz and its polymorphs. That's what okay. Anyways. Polymorphism is a phenomenon where a compound can crystallize into more than one crystal structure. Yeah, it's because we don't fully understand it, and so we just call it the same thing anyways. Where is crystalline mineral? Silicon dioxide. There we go. Silicon dioxide, known as silica, oxide of silicon. Chemical formula SiO2, commonly found as quartz. Many parts of the word silica, major constituent of sand. The most complex, abundant families of materials. Compound of several minerals and synthetic product. Examples include fused quartz, fumed silica, opal, aerogels. It is used in structural materials and microelectronics. Yeah. Other names: quartz, silica, silicon dioxide, crystalline, pure silica. Yeah, but what about the other versions of it? Crystal structural differences. Silicon dioxide divided into two categories: crystalline, non-crystalline. The form, crystalline form, substance found naturally occurring quartz. Tritomite, the high temperature form. Cristobalite, high temperature form. Which that's actually snowflake obsidian right there. And stishovite, high pressure form, and cosite, high pressure form. On the other hand, amorphous silica. So those are all types of crystalline quartz. Quartz, tritomite, cristobalite, stishovite. On the other hand, amorphous silica can be found in nature. Amorphous, where it's not. See, because silica, we melt it down and make it into glass, right? And glass doesn't have a crystal structure. That's why it breaks weird. Opal is the same. Opal is basically natural glass. And diatomaceous earth, quartz glass, is a form of intermediate state between these structures. Yeah, exactly. It's obsidian. But obsidian's got a lot of stuff in it. I mean, it's not just silicon dioxide. Oh, also, there's different types of quartz. I've dealt with this bullshit. Alpha quartz, most stable and solid SiO at room temp. High temperature minerals, cristobalite and tritomite have both lower densities and indices of refraction than quartz. The transition from alpha quartz to beta quartz takes place at 573 degrees Celsius, so about 700 degrees. Since the transformation is accompanied by a significant change in volume, it can easily induce fracturing of ceramics or rocks passing through the temperature limit. Okay, so check this the fuck out, is that sometimes when I'm cutting gems, I'll have like a surface, and it's like this flat surface, and I'm trying to grind it, like down, and so I'm trying to put more pressure on here, so I put it on the surface and I push on it, and instead of grinding all of it, it'll hit a hard spot in the middle, and it'll turn on me, and now I've got two surfaces, and this really hard spot in the middle. It's like I'm trying to so I'll just right dead in the middle and go on a sharp part of the wheel, and then that hard spot will spark, and then it becomes more shapeable again, and it's so frustrating. It's like, shape, dagnabbit, spark. And so I think that it has to do with the different types of bonds that I find in the various. Sometimes the bonds are a little harder, and you can see it in the there's 3 times on the live stream when I pointed out, look at the spark, and different types of materials. Hadn't heard any of that. Gotta look it up. Seen his stuff in the Chicago Art Institute? No, I haven't. But the thing about the Fabergé eggs is that they're freaking awesome. They are pretty dope. The egg thing was just like excuse me, it's not important to it really. It's just a container. It's not an actual egg. It's well, okay, so a lot of those things contain glue and enamel paint. It's the intricacy. For example, he made a scale model of the Queen's ship, sailing ship or whatever, and mounted it in a big chunk of aquamarine. for the ocean. Another time, there's like you open the egg and inside's a bunch of little train cars that you can wind up and they actually go. Really cool stuff. Seen a few museums. Well, that's my problem is that I'll just binge Wikipedia, but I'll look stuff up 2, 3, 4 times. Like this is probably the 10th time I've been to this particular page of just silicon dioxide. It's good to look it up once in a while. Hey, who doesn't love it? Silicon, selling it, baby. Commercial glass production. You know what I found was cool is that in commercial glass production is that like to get the glass smooth, they'll have a layer of melted magnesium. And so it's this big like football field long vat of hot magnesium. Just liquid. Smooth as glass, obviously. And then the glass gets all mixed up and heated up, cooled down, made to the right temperature, and then it gets squeezed out right onto that bed of liquid magnesium. And it just sits there on the magnesium, furnacing down to just the right temperature. So it's all smooth as it comes out the other side. And then they got these big automated knives that cut at an angle. So as the glass is coming out, it goes whoosh, and it cuts it into straight lines. It's really cool stuff. AIC has some of his jewelry too. Wow. Box and an inkwell. The temperature to write in the wet concrete must have been tremendous. Temptation to write in the wet concrete. Yeah, it's really interesting seeing the manufacturing of the glass because like I said, the knives will go like they'll cut the squares, but they'll also cut long ways. And sometimes if there's a defect in the glass, then it'll actually cut that out. And down the line, they have the conveyors will drop out in different patterns. And they'll literally drop like a 10-foot by 10-foot sheet of glass right down to the basement. It shatters and gets recycled. It's wild. You'll just hear all the defects falling. You get closer to it. It's quite a tour of a factory. It's interesting to see that. I always liked what was that? Not Modern Marvels, is it? How It's Made? Something like that. Might be Modern Marvels, but I think it's How It's Made. Okay, yeah, Fabergé eggs. Moscow Kremlin. It's just intricate. The very first one was basic and it had a chicken, like a gold egg and a chicken inside the egg or something. And then they just kind of caught on after that. Okay, here's the one with the ship. Big piece of aquamarine that it's sitting in. You know, it's just fancy. Got a lot of paint, glue, and diamonds. That one's got an elephant in it. Automaton. Where's the one with the train? That's not an egg. It doesn't even count. I suppose when you find something that works, you run with it. Suppose he wanted to be known as the egg guy. That's what you remember me for? Hmm. I thought there was one with a toy train. Yeah, some of them the surprise is missing. Makes sense. Hmm. Yeah, Trans-Siberian Railway. It's got a tiny little train. There's no banana for scale. Presented to Nicholas II as an Easter gift. Currently held in the Kremlin Armory. 1900 Trans-Siberian Railway made of onyx, silver, gold, and quartz. Decorated with colored vitreous enamel. Lid of the egg is hinged, overlay of green enamel, decorated with leaves of acanthus, one of the most common plant forms used to make foliage ornament. Okay. On top of the lid is a golden three-headed eagle in gold with the imperial crown. Interiors lined with velvet. Route map of the railway engraved in the silver across the face with major stations marked by a precious stone forming a belt around the egg. Egg is supported by 3 griffins made of gold-plated silver on stepped triangular base of white onyx. A surprise is a miniature clockwork replica of a steam train made of gold and platinum in 3 sections with an overall length of 1 foot. Wow. Okay. It has a diamond headlight and ruby marker lights. 5 carriages have rock crystal windows. Are labeled male, ladies only, smoking, non-smoking, and chapel. The train has a gold key that can be used to wind it up and make it run. That's cool. Okay, so there's a map going around here. Yeah, that'd take a little while. It'd take me a month or two to make one of those. Pity things didn't turn out so well for old Nick. Yeah, that that it seemed like he was having a rough time. Whole new level, so much going on all at once. Sciences and skills. Yeah, Putin should try and it'd probably get it'd probably get it'd probably bring about the end to the end of the Ukrainian war. He probably does have a lot of stuff like that. Like um Imperial Topaz. Uh only the Russians were the Russian royalty was allowed to own Imperial Topaz. Nobody else is allowed to own it. There's law. And that's the kind of stuff that causes people to revolt. Because it was something about like when there was the revolt and they shot everybody, they shot all the, the wife and kids and all that kind of stuff, that they had so many gems and jewels in their stuff that most of the bullets didn't even hit them. Keeps his preferences and habits secret. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the problem with trying to run a country with nukes, especially over there. I mean, he's got Europe and China, and that Great Wall ain't gonna hang out forever. It probably needs maintenance. No, actually, Kurt, what was funny is, so I remember hearing something about Ukraine is like the Midwest of over there. And it's like a lot like here, but there. And when I'm in New York, I go to this Ukrainian restaurant, and they bring me basically the same stuff that I eat. Oh, a secret KGB boss. Well, yeah, that would get you the right connections. I mean, a lot of the world is in who you know. Oh, welcome to your weekly Wikipedia. All right. We were trying to do something. I'll fix our sword. That's right.
Do you need something?
Yes.
Aren't you a sight? What can I do for you?
Who fixes swords?
What makes this smell?
Let's see, Telvanni agents. Here's some gold. Good job. Orders. Alright. I need someone to return a code book. A what? Yeah, there are too many things for me to read. Our client wants is in the hands of solitude at the south wall in Balsmora. And Morbalza. Morbala. Find that code book and bring it to me. Solitude, south wall. Thieves Guild, full responsibility. Okay.
So what's this about?
Repair. Repair me up. Right. To gray out herd topics. Grayed out dialogue. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Gray out, okay. Ebony magic. And has a huge secret. Foundational to Morrowind. Okay. I also want to get a sneak lock too, so I don't have to hold the sneak button all the time. But anyways, grayed out topics, yeah. Because that's one thing I'll click on stuff. I'll click on stuff twice. South wall. Hey, you know, that's the thing. They start games and add features. Imagine trying to play this with this quality of playmanship on a 2002 computer. It'd be all kinds of regrets.
Masera.
People keep calling me Sarah. The fog was crucial. Oh, okay. Cause of the view distance, gotcha. Eyelids on fire. Said the south wall.
Quit playing Outlander. I haven't much time.
You guys drinking skooma?
What do you ask of me?
Well, you know this solitude person? Yeah. So I walk up to this dude and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, dude? You look like you're somebody. Do you know anything about these Telvanni agents? And he's like, he balks back and says, "You fetcher!" I'm like, what do you think? What are you trying to fetch? What's on your mind? I mean, how are you gonna call somebody that? Is that an insult? Calling him a dog? They go and fetch things? Are you saying I'm good at catching frisbees? And sometimes I'm like a dog with a bone.
Head on.
Ah, there she is. Solitude, what's up, lady? Ah, it's never explained, okay. Yeah, let's look up the etymology on that here in a minute. Because I thought that was an English insult. Uh... So why are you asking me? Maybe you should join the Thieves Guild. Talk to Sugar Lips. Okay. I was supposed to be all said at once, but the original Morrowind voice actors said it, and wah, and wah. I like it better that way. Let's see. Pejorative. Fetcher. A person or animal that fetches, meaning they go get something and return with it. You can refer to a rugby player who wins the ball, a type of bug in the game. The Elder Scrolls, historically a type of belittling insult for someone who serves others. So it's a 16th century insult. Middle English, Fletcher. Old French, someone who made or sold arrows for bows. Occupational name for an arrowsmith. Well, that's not a bad thing. It's hilarious. Urban Dictionary, yeah, says 16th century. Well, it seems to be old, but it's been popularized. Because there was a lot of Elder Scrolls stuff that showed up. Old Sugar Tooth? I'm not sure where he's living now, but ask somebody, the owner. He'll know. Right? We've had peace and prosperity in Morrowind under the Empire for centuries. It's governmental by law. Legions enforce it. Empire's free trade. Rich in pockets and spirit. Corruption. Crimes and criminals get rich, richer, poorer, poorer. But overall, things are pretty good. What's the Imperial Cult? Shrine is outside of town in Fort Moonmouth. Priest in charge there. Altar cures disease and poison. Well, that sounds handy. Code book. So she gave it to me. Great. Only cost me $200. That's the 9 Divines. Oh, okay. The Imperial Cult. Ah, the 9 Divine. Okay.
What is this about?
Interesting. So now I just... That's it, right? Codebook delivered across town. Done deal.
Go
Bam,
ahead,
right
I'm
into the wall. Here you go. Oh, shoot. Should I look at it?
No worries. I won't hurt you. Ask your question.
Alright, 50 bucks. Hey. You require more experience, redouble training, practice skills to become Administrator the Swordsman. Let's see. Somebody owes someone $200. Deliver the money to me. Okay, so they owe you the money, huh? She runs the corner club in Saran.
I suppose I have a moment. What is it?
Well, there's a lot left to do to optimize it. I need hotkeys for the fatigue. It helps being familiar with Bethesda. Last Spicy Club. Hey, you know, the corner... Which one did I go to? It was definitely spicy. I think I saved it so I could go back there after the stream. Saran. Fields of Harold and Kumu. Oh yeah, there it is. So let's go to Saran. Ouch. Gotta head out. Thanks for hosting. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Kirk. I tell you what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna come up with a whole bunch of questions, and then tomorrow when I see you, I'm gonna ask them. Thanks for helping out. And thanks for chatting about minerals. You know, I love doing that. Gotta show off my rock collection. Good old rocks. Fair play. I'll figure it out. I'm learning. We gotta get that voice thingy set up. That'd be cool. But I'll see you next time. Actually, I think that's a good chance for me to go get a refill and a snack. I missed the first part of the game where I had a bunch of people following me around. Now I'm lonely. Just old noob Cybot. I'm gonna go find Sub-Zero. Maybe he's still stuck there.
Hello. I don't know if I can help you, but I'll try.
Sarah.
Hmm.
You want something?
What is this about?
I didn't know this had 3 levels. Wow.
Outlander.
Inlander. Soon to become Highlander.
Your wounds are great.
Careful with that, friend.
Earthly delights. Oh, okay.
May your battle show only victory, friend.
Masera.
Can you ask your question
You wish
quickly?
to
I must be
speak?
going.
Respectable business. Come on a Tong. Ask for money for safety. What for? Safe from Dren's thugs? Not paying it. Well, let's hear more about it. Oh, she sells moon sugar. Well, we are going to figure more out about that one on the next stream. I am going to get some rest. Have a good evening, night, day, and good morning.